Hello again. Now it's time to discuss the Human Distress Notification Drone. The notable changes from the proposal are the inclusion of the LCD display, which you can see on the front. This is going to be a better means of communication with campers than the speaker. The speaker system is no longer a voice box, it's now just an audible alarm, and as you can see, it's now much smaller. Otherwise, the physical dimensions have not changed and are all as seen here. Here's the electrical circuit that represents the drone and how it functions. From the proposal, we changed it from 4 9-volt batteries down to 2, which provides sufficient power to keep it going. You can see the bottom and forward obstacle avoidance systems in the bottom left and the LCD display right next to it. The 4 quadcopter DC motors are at the top and the piezo alarm is right below them. This is all powered and controlled through an Arduino, which we will see a demonstration of here in just a moment. Here we can see the flow chart of how my drone operates. It starts off and gets deployed by the central hub, flies to its target, descends, constantly monitoring for obstacles and then avoiding them, communicates with campers for 3 minutes, and then ascends back up and flies home. Here we can see some code snippets where we talk. On the left we have the engine controls, in the middle we have part of the state machine. On the right hand side you can see some of the setup with how the various actuators are connected to the Arduino. This is going to be a demonstration of how the circuit operates. It starts in an undeployed state, power off, everything's not going on, nothing's happening. We're going to go ahead and start the simulation. We're going to see how it all works together. At the beginning, it just waits for the deployment order, which we as a central hub are going to give it. Once we deploy, you see the DC motors all accelerate to 100% of power as they attempt to climb. Now we're waiting to detect an elevation of 100 feet, which we're going to simulate here. We're now at 100 feet and we're traveling towards the target destination. If there is anything in the way, the front distance sensor is going to identify it and it's going to turn around it and it's going to keep going forward. As you can see here, LED lights, as you can tell, are on. Now we're going to arrive at our destination. Since the central hub is going to determine position of the drone versus the position of the target. Now we need to descend to 5 feet, which we'll see here. The LCD comes on and the PTO begins. We're going to simulate 3 minutes as completed with that. And now we're back to ascending. We're going to ascend up to 100 feet. We're going to travel back towards base. And then after a little bit, we're going to arrive. And now we're descending to 5 feet. As you can see, the power of the motors adjusts for ascension and descending. Now, once we're down to 5 feet, it's going to shut down. And that's the circuit simulation. Now we will discuss the collective behavior of the drone swarm as a whole. Initially, the central hub will deploy the Firefinder and Human Finder drones to commence a lawnmower-style search of the identified grid area as defined by the central hub. When either of these drones identifies their target, they will relay that information to the central hub. A camper check-in drone will deploy periodically to check in with each located person to see if they need medical assistance. If a fire is detected, then a human distress notification drone will be deployed to each identified camper to warn them to evacuate. Now let's look at a simulation of this in action. Here we're going to see a simulation of the drones working collectively to notify some campers when a fire is detected. So first we're going to plot some fires. We're going to plot some campers. We're going to plot some obstacles. And now we're going to start it up. Here on the right-hand side, you can see the status from the central hub as things change in real time. Going to turn on pointers. These will just indicate where the drones are headed at each time. As you can see, the Firefinder and Human Finder drones are just patrolling. Once a camper is identified, the camper check-in drone is deployed. And it's going to go see if everything's okay with camper number 1 there. Firefinder drone has run into some tall trees and has to go around it. It's doing an excellent job on that. As additional campers are identified, they're added to the queue for the camper check-in drone. And since he's already out and about, he's going to go back. Now a fire's been detected up top by the Firefinder drone. So now numerous human in distress drones have been deployed, 1 to each camper. You can see them all here, going towards their targets. Camper check-in drone got back, realized there was another camper that had been identified while he was on his way back, so he's now headed back out. Firefinder and Human Finder won't stop patrolling until they've reached the end of their patrols. As you can see, the campers are being evacuated. Some of the drones are making it back, and some are lost due to unforeseen circumstances. And there we go. The last camper has been rescued.